So we're currently working on this pretty sort of unique Range Rover. It's basically in a two-tone colour. The top isn't just black and it isn't just metallic, it's actually got a lot of gold and purple and quite a lot of colours in it that you don't really see until it's been buffed, because it was quite bad. I'm going to show you basically both sides in the boot just so you can actually see kind of the finish before and after. We're not complete on here, this is just like a single stage at the minute, but it's just to give you an idea on the actual colour tones that are available on this actual car when it does come. So here you can basically see kind of the marring and the swirls that are in the actual paint itself. It's just general wash and wear and tear, to be honest. Something happens with bigger cars, as we normally mention. And then obviously you come round here and you can actually see against all the studio lights the actual pearl that's in there, don't you? There you go, the camera's actually picked it up. And that shows you how much actual colour's in there. And if we go to the other side, you'll see that we haven't actually touched that yet, and you'll see how much of a difference that's created. So this side hasn't been touched yet, and as you can see on the studio lighting, you've got a lot of marring, swirl marks, and the colour's not there. There's not a lot of depth in that paint at the moment. It looks pretty metallic, but you can't really tell it's black, you can't tell it's got gold, and you certainly can't tell there's purple in there. And that is the difference of just a single stage at the minute, where we've actually got to refine that and bring that colour really back out. I'm not actually sure how much the camera's going to bring this out, because it's quite tricky to see being silver. I'll try and focus it, but basically we've got a ginormous scratch down here, which unfortunately is actually through the paint. Somebody's tried to wet sand that and not done a great job, and it's quite dull around here. Now we won't be able to do much with this part. We can possibly get this part here out to make it better, but what we will do is get the dull sanding etching sort of out from there. As I say, it's quite difficult. I think the camera's just kind of picked it up there. It's quite difficult to see, but all this here is quite a dry etching, and we need to get that out, and that's from somebody doing a wet sanding job and not really bringing it back afterwards. What we have noticed is there's quite a large scratch across the rear glass on here as well. The glass does normally mark, you get swirls, general kind of wear and tear on glass and plastics quite a lot, and we do obviously always buff lights. It's quite a big thing for us, but there is quite a deep scratch across here that we will try and get out, possibly need to wet sand again, but you've got to be very, very careful with plastics because there's not a lot to play with. Now I am actually struggling to get that on camera. I think you can just see it there. That's basically micro marring, and what that actually is the way the dual action buffers work. They oscillate and they put little scratches into the paint, which I say you can't see under certain light. If we move forward, it's gone. It's more just like a patch that we found there. Hopefully you can see that on camera. You may have to slow the speed down or replay it, but you can see there that's actually micro marring. Now it's fairly easy to fix micro marring. You can get it out, but you do have to do it with a rotary. You can't go back over it with a DA, it will make it worse. The problem you get, and I've put it in cars myself when I've used DAs on quick jobs, once you put the micro marring in, it can take a lot longer than it can to get it out. So for example, getting it in there could have been a 10-minute job for someone. That could be up to 40 minutes to an hour to actually get that out, and that's the problem you get when you do get micro marring, and that's why primarily we still use rotary machines here. They take a bit longer. They do need more attention and a lot more sort of detail and time basically, and to get them right, because you can burn with the paint, but you will get a better finish from them if you use them, especially when you're down with your pads and your compounds and you grade them. But we'll try and get this out, and I'll try and get a video later on in the video here when we actually upload it, and you should see that that's now gone. So like we said in the past with pillars and blacks and panels, you can hide them, you can fake them, you can get really good angles and you can make things look better than they actually are, and we won't do that. Now these pillars on the back are pretty damaged, to be honest with you, quite bad. I didn't actually think we'd get anything from them as such apart from a bit of gloss. I have actually got a little bit more than I thought I would with a bit of persistence, and I actually don't think they're bad. They're probably about 95 to 98%, you know, if I'm going to count numbers. I'm going to show you them now. There is a few marks in them still, but the honest answer is they've come up better than I expected, and when we're not in our booth, they actually will look flawless. So this is going to be like a true video of what pillars actually look like, so you may find the odd little mark.